everyone, welcome to my channel. This is my first video ever. So Spirit's really been urging me to start a YouTube channel, so here we are. So I'm calling this channel Lady Justice Oracle. I go over, political issues in the collective level, as well as I'm also a twin flame coach. I'm here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. I do, of course, one-on-one readings, group readings. I teach the tarot, candle magic, and I'm also a career development coach as well. Before I got into tarot and the mystical side of things, I used to be a recruiter, and I used to, help people reach their goals on the career front. So I've taken more of an approach, a more mystical approach, as if you will, using, divination tools such as the tarot, helping people identify those gifts that they have and then help them develop those gifts as well. And then, help them reach their goals on the financial front and making, their dreams a reality. So on the collective front, we're getting keep peace with the earth. Okay, we've got a couple jumpers there. No sunrise finds us where sunset left us. Okay. And then the ocean laughs always with the innocent. So keep peace with the earth, or keep pace with the earth. This is all about, staying in tune with your divine self, cutting out anybody who does not really feed your soul. Right? So cutting out anybody who is getting in the way of, what you see for yourself in the future. Anybody that this is all about blocking out distractions and getting in tune with yourself and who you are. Because your soul had a plan before you came onto this earth about what you were really meant to do here. So if you're attracted to this video, right? So if you're attracted to this reading right now, this means that you are a light worker, that you're here specifically to carry out a plan of some kind, that you are being really held to. So if things are really blowing up and not really lining up as you wanted them to, that itself should be telling you something, right? So right now they're really emphasizing surrendering to life itself. Stop trying to control everything, right? You see the vulnerability with her hands up here. This is stop trying to control everything, and also the power and vulnerability. So by hiding what is going on inside of you, what thoughts you might be having, this is really, really an energy of freeing yourself and allowing yourself to follow what you are envisioning on the inside. Okay, so then we also got no sunrise finds us where sunset left us. So they're really saying to let go of the darker aspects of yourself, darker aspects of your life that you are kind of beating yourself up about. Because right now, as light workers, we're really being called to really contribute to the planet and assist in this collective transition that we're all going through. Right? Because right now, everyone's kind of freaking out on the political front because, we're going through things that we've never really gone through in history. And, the change that's coming in is causing all of these things that have been swept up under the rug for some time to really, really come out. And we're being faced with truths, which is only going to accelerate, this next year to come. We're being faced with truths that are, number one, very, very hard to hear. Number two, it's going to change our whole reality, our whole perspective on how we thought things were. There's a lot of you that are going to be like, wow, that's not even real, right? So, especially with the two-party system that really is an illusion. It doesn't really exist. It's just a way to kind of manipulate everybody into thinking that there's two sides to really distract them from the actual issue that's going on collectively, and how the mass manipulation is actually, it's a form of tyranny that's not really visible, right? So that's why it's harder to see. And as these truths come to the surface, as according to the Pleiadians, we're actually entering the Golden Age. So the Golden Age, the last one, according to a lot of the different channelings from, major light workers, was back in, the age of Atlantis, when, people were so psychically in tune with themselves And technology at that point was much more advanced than we can even imagine at this point in time. So technology as well as psychic ability was very, very, very prominent in Atlantis society. So again, if you're attracted to this video as well, you are probably, you know, your soul remembers that time and you've come back to the next golden age, which is every 15,000 to 20,000 years, I believe, to reawaken the principles that your soul knows exist, right? So this whole technological boom that's going to happen in the next couple of years, which has already been happening the last 100, but really it's gone 0 from 100 real quick from the beginning of the 90s to the 2000s to 2010. It's about to be 2020. We got the iPhone, we got all these new technological advances only continuing to accelerate. So incorporating them into our daily lives without them really controlling us. So we have a small window of opportunity to really have access to each other here and to expand our awareness. So therefore, we can actually find each other a lot quicker, which in past times we weren't really able to find. Our soul families weren't really able to connect and really, develop the exchange of information that we have now, which again, the small window of opportunity has come in so we can find each other quicker and then figure things out faster. And with that, we can actually overturn our opposition against us at this time, which that's a whole other thing. There's the galactic beings, we have the angels, you have your elementals, all of this that are here to expand the planet and really utilize the light within each being. Versus there's some entities that have a different agenda, which they think they have a whole different approach to how society should run and how things are supposed to function, which, let's just call them the negative polarity. So Earth couldn't exist if a negative wasn't here to really equalize a positive. So through this back and forth, we're able to, together Earth can exist. Right. So right now we can't be focusing overly on the negative, because the more you focus on the negative polarity, the sunset, right, where things have, where you've been held in fear, where you feel like you've made certain mistakes, nothing is really a mistake. It was just something that was along the path to take you to where you were supposed to be. So that way you can work your light and, spread your knowledge about things that that have awakened within you. Okay, so that way you can spread your light. So the more you focus on the negative, the more the negative polarity gets fed. The more you focus on the positive, the more the positive polarity gets fed. So just be aware of your thoughts. Your thoughts, your feelings, just be aware of them and, really, really keep track of where they tend to gravitate towards. So you can be like, nope, wait a second, and you can shift your focus and be in alignment with what you are here to create and, your thoughts and feelings, what you are projecting to the outer world. Okay, so that way you can start attracting people who are in alignment with what you're here to do, with what you are meant to, in any capacity, what you're here to contribute during this whole transition from the darker ages to this new golden age that we're approaching. So it says the ocean always laughs with the innocent. Let's see, let me draw another card on that. The gates of his heart were flung open. All right, so it's getting back to that place of child innocence where, you realize maybe I don't know a lot. Maybe there's a lot I still have to learn. Maybe it's a huge kick in the pride at this point. It's a swift kick in the ego. There's a lot of you that thought you had everything figured out, but then you realize the more you know, the more you know you don't know. And then there's the dark night of the soul that's triggered through that. Because dark night of the soul is just losing the meaning that your ego gave to your everyday life events, to, your overall identity in general. So it's being forced to detach from the old you. And it's the right time for that to happen for what we're about to enter, which is a whole regime change. So this whole, party system here in the United States, the way, money is ran, the banks, everything is about to change. The school system, what mental health really is and why mental health issues even occur, especially, on this level here in the United States. All these things are about to come to light, and it's because people are awakening and remembering their mission here on Earth. And once they do that, other people in their lives have a tendency to really, really, not attack them almost, like that's bizarre or what have you, like who are you? You were this person. So right now it's a time for cutting out of those people, or just lessening how much energy that you give them and getting more alignment with your inner guidance, with your inner compass, paying attention to when your inner self is saying, no, go this way, go that way. The only time you feel in confusion is when the mind is really, really arguing almost with your feelings. Like, no, that doesn't make any sense. But your feelings are like, no, just go. So we're really, really becoming more aware that our feelings actually are more reliable in a sense than the mind, which we've been taught the opposite. So there's a lot of debugging and replugging here going on. So it's a lot of inner confliction between the mind and also concentrating on things we could have done differently, or no, just everything is in perfect order. Every challenge that you've had, every traumatic experience that you've had, it was in perfect order. It happened the way it needed to happen, because what do traumas do? They wake you up. Through trauma, a lot of people dig through their pain, they pull their soul out of their pain, and they realize their lighted purpose. Our trauma and our shadow side really shines and helps us shine light on where we're supposed to go into the future. Because if everything was always smooth sailing, we would never take the steps to initiate change of any kind. We would stay complacent. We would stay in this area that was comfortable. Right? So it's meant to kind of swiggle you all around within to where, you gravitate toward a channel like this, where I'm, giving a reading, because the reason you seeked me out in the first place is because of what you're going through. So if you didn't go through something specific, you wouldn't be here listening to me. So your pain and, all of that, it's all leading you in the right direction. So you can learn how to heal it and then teach others the same thing. So the gates of his heart were flung open. So normally when the awakening process happens, which this is happening by the thousands, it's going to happen by the hundreds of thousands, and to the point where everybody's just going to look around and be like, okay, what I thought was what isn't really. What I thought was reality, that's really not the way things are. And this awakening was supposed to happen at a certain point in your development where you can handle the information. So everybody's at a different point in their journey. So normally when the awakening process happens, your heart flies open to where you start doing things and saying things that you would have never considered in the past. So again, when this is first opening, what I'm getting is a lot of combat from other people who are not on the same wavelength. So it's just following that, so you can open up a new area of your life where other people can come in, your soul family can come in, to where you can put yourself in a position to receive more accurate information about the real reality of things. Which again, once you go to a higher thing, you're going to be like, okay, you're only going to go higher and higher. So your understanding goes from here to here. And then you're like, okay, I want to kind of stay here. Now I know everything. No, you don't. You're going to go here and here and here and here. And that's what life is, the ascension. It goes up. Okay, so just be aware of that. It's kind of Pandora's box at this point. Rest in reason and move in passion. So when things kind of click for you, don't try to keep searching. The additional downloads will come, And then make a move when you feel a gut response to make a move. If you are making moves based on, where other people are in life because you want to be where they are, or there's a competition or what have you, no, 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 no. That will throw you right back to another situation that'll wake you up in a way that you don't want to be woken up. So rest and reason. So when you feel kind of solid on things, just stay there. Just stay there. And the next activation will come in naturally. Don't try to convince other people of the new knowledge that you know now. Don't try to change other people. Don't push yourself to, and don't push yourself too hard based on what society is expecting of you. Only listen to your inner compass. Well, anyway, that is my first reading on my channel. Again, this is Lady Justice Oracle. If you like this video, please like and please subscribe to my channel. Have a great day.